What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be showcasing my internal operations and automations that I've set up, with the primary focus being on how to not get overwhelmed. And this is the Slack notification that we're going to be focusing on. I'll be showing you how to create it, and we can start with why it's important. And the reason why it's important is, like, for myself personally, is I've been onboarding clients, and as I've been onboarding clients, um, I've just been overwhelmed. I have not known how many tasks I need to do, which type of tasks I need to do, and this particular automation over here has been a game changer. The reason why we are able to create an automation that looks exactly like that is because of the way that we've structured our operations, right? So we have our clients in a list. Our clients interact with all of these different lists, right? So we've got client comms to send them personalized reports, onboarding emails, all sorts of stuff, campaigns, domains, playbooks, all of these different things, right, related to service delivery. And then we have this automation over here, which basically checks for all of the tasks in those associated lists. And so, for example, when we create campaigns for clients, we're creating them via ClickUp. And so this would look up the campaigns list and then output the number of campaigns that we need to create. And so, for example, we can do this custom task one over here, which is the number of custom tasks that we have. And as you can see, we've got two outputs, which is going to be the number of tasks that we're going to be getting in that Slack notification. And so this is what it looks like. We've got two items in the to-do, one in the completed, and then in the actual output over here, we get the two tasks. Another thing that this does is it checks across different tech stack. And so, for example, overdue tasks inside HubSpot. This is something that can check if I have to call any customers, any potential leads, if I have to follow up with any deals, and that type of stuff. And if this returns zero, which it has, we would not see it inside the Slack output. And so I'll be showing you how we can exclude and include different data. And then finally, other things that we are able to do, we're able to leverage undocumented APIs and things like that to basically search Smart Lead to get other type of tasks. And so, for example, if I wanted to see how many deactivated warmups I have, I would be able to see that as well. And so it said two, we've got two. And so these things, right, these are things that all add up into the feeling of feeling overwhelmed, right? Because you're like, okay, how you wake up, you're like, how many deactivated accounts do I have? How many things? And things are all over the place. Like it becomes extremely hard to actually know what to do. And so in my case, on many days, I just resulted to doing nothing. And then on other days, I just started working on random stuff that was not the core tasks that I need to accomplish to finish my day. Another thing that I want to point out is that I do have a different type of tasks. So this is an extension that's just looking at my Google tasks, and so working on the business. And so if I have to create the website, if I have to collaborate with like Smartlead or something of that nature, these would be tasks that are not related to service delivery. And so working on the business, I'm going to be getting all of my tasks in Google Tasks, and then working inside the business, service delivery wise, all of that's happening within ClickUp. Okay, so let's go into some of those tasks and what they look like. And so this is the campaign creation tasks. And so this is going to be that onboarding client onboarding notification. So when we onboard a brand new client, they're going to be in this status new, and then we're going to get notified for them all the way up until they are considered active. Once they're active, we're not going to be notified about them. All of the tasks related to this client is going to be in these other tasks. And so remember how I said they're all interlinked. And so, for example, we've got a few custom tasks over here. And so for one of the consulting clients who's already gone through the onboarding process, I just want to create some additional campaigns for them outside of the scope of the project, right? And so I added this over here inside the to-dos, and the client, I've just removed them over here for the sake of the video, but they would be here. And then we can actually like link this to a document. And the way that ClickUp is set up is that it allows us to like create documents really easily and monitor all of these different things. But this is one of those pieces that I mentioned that was giving me overwhelm, because now we've added an extra layer of complexity, because we're no longer just doing lead gen where it was always just communicate with clients, create campaigns. Now we've got a consulting clients, and those consulting clients have different needs. And as I'm onboarding new clients, I'm also realizing that not every single client is going to have the exact same thing every single time, all the time, right? So that's why we've got this custom tasks section. So boom, that's how it goes with the thing. And then client comms, you're not actually able to see that. So let's create a client comm tasks. And so this would be send send. Actually, you know what? I did want to show you guys one, like how this looks like in action. So let me just do that. So this, I typically don't create them from scratch, because I have a cadence for these. So like an automation typically creates these on my behalf. But if I did create it from scratch, this is what it would look like. And so let's say this is an onboarding email, and then the product is lead generation. And so these products are going to have different types of uh you know what, let's just do a manual email. Let's do manual. Okay, so create email, it's a lead generation service to Noel. And then at this point I could do the communication task for November 17th, and then the email draft will just be the same exact thing, right? And then I can also include like videos, right? This is something that I like to do. I like to include videos in my communication with clients, but in this particular case, we're not going to do it. And so when I do send a test, oh, actually, that's not relevant, because it's not going to include everything. We just sent it to the client, which is going to be myself. When we go back to Google Gmail, and we refresh the page over here, oh, it actually worked. So we got the subject. So there you go. So we've got all of this stuff, and it's just like communication task for November 17th. So this is all like an automation that allows us to communicate with clients seamlessly. But that's the whole process. You just saw the process, right? We go send email to client, and then we do a final one. Um, Boom. Okay. So yeah, we've got that down. And then the campaigns, it's the exact same process. I'll show you. I'll add a task here so that you guys can see the statuses that we put them through. And again, I typically don't create these from scratch. They're typically being created on a weekly cadence. But we would basically do the same thing. So similar to how you just saw an email go from step one all the way up until the end, we would be creating campaigns the same. So we choose a playbook, and that playbook is going to have copywriting for us. We generate the spin tags for that copywriting. We can also like make manual changes, right? So like with the AI, we're basically doing an AI assisted campaign creation process. And so the AI creates some copywriting for us, and then we also make manual changes. And at the end of this, we're sending the copywriting and everything directly to Smart Lead. The benefit of doing it like this is that all of the Smart Lead settings are automatically updated to fit our criteria. All of the inboxes associated to the client that are active, like the ones that we've deemed active, are going to be automatically assigned. And basically we could just add leads right away. And like this is going to be that step: export and import list. And we have a build list system over here. And so like building campaigns is extremely quick for us. But this would be the process to go from start to finish. The next thing we do here is set up domains. Again, same process, go from step 0 all the way up until the end. Domains purchased all the way up until the end. But all of these tasks that are happening, all of these different things, they're all happening very often simultaneously. As we're creating the domains, we're simultaneously communicating with the client. And as we're simultaneously communicating with the client, we're also creating the campaign. So this is all happening like at the same time. And that's why we go back to the video thumbnail, feeling overwhelmed. There's so many things that happen at all the times, and if you don't know where every single thing is, you get very easily overwhelmed. And so that's why this is like super important. And so that's how we set up the domains. And then sales funnel, it's just managing the leads, right? So we've got all of these different statuses, and then we even have like a follow-up thing, but like these would be the ones that I need to like actually work in the sales funnel. And so these are like the smart lead statuses that you would recognize: information request, interested, meeting request. We have a two-way sync going on, and from our end we basically just need to go to the master inbox and either reply or something of that nature, right? And then we go to the custom tasks. These are what they are: custom tasks, right? And I think I have explained what it is, right? It's just a random task that is for something that's not already within our defined criteria. And so let's go to the automation, and then we will wrap this up. So as I did mention, the automation is basically looking for all of the different lists, and then getting the stats associated, right? And this right here, by the way, is called a numeric aggregator. It's basically adding them up one by one by one by one. So, and we have this type of statuses, so like to exclude all of the closed ones. So let's go ahead and just do a quick run over here. Let's run it anyway. Boom, boom, boom. And so when it runs, it's basically going to add up all of these different ones. So we've got 4 bundles that are filtered and correct. And then we're going to get an output of 4. And this output of 4 is what we're going to be sending into Slack. And so this is what it looks like in the Slack module. It's basically just a formula, right? So it's like, if client onboarding tasks exist, send this. If they don't exist, we don't send anything, right? If the campaigns exist, don't do this. And if the custom tasks exist, all of this type of stuff, right? And as I did mention, we're also looking at HubSpot, we're looking at Smart Lead, we're looking at all sorts of different things, and we're also assigning it to a person, which is myself. If I had a team member, I could assign these different things to them, and I can even direct it like in chunks, right? So rather than giving a person everything, I could just be like, hey, you have these domain setup tasks. Here's what you're missing, and that's how, and we would just use a router for that. And by the way, we have this section over here which checks that not all of these are equal to 0. And if all of them are equal to 0, meaning we've done pretty much everything that we need to do, we would use this one over here, which is just saying task pending completion, done. Like, we're done with everything, right? And then this just helps us keep like it gives a dopamine boost, like, hey, we finish all of the tasks. And it also just prevents us from being overwhelmed in the Slack channel as well, because we don't want to um constantly see all of these. On that point, after all of this stuff happens, we just get the notifications that say task pending completion, and the ones that are for today, which is like using this formula over here, we just go ahead and delete them. So this ensures that on a daily basis, because we're getting this notification happening multiple times a day, right? As you can see, every 4 hours, we're getting updated with the status of our task building efforts. And so we don't want to have like 20 notifications inside the Slack channel. It's just the last one for this particular day. We also want to see the history for before, so we're not deleting messages from before, but the ones that are today, using this filter over here, those are the ones that we're going to be deleting. Okay, so that is everything. I hope you found this video valuable. I hope you're able to scale your agency without feeling overwhelmed. Okay, bye.